This time, when faced with the dilemma of choosing who should cut off the student's limbs, Quinn had volunteered. "Here I go!" With a single swing, Quinn cut off the piece of the student's foot with a clean strike. This time, however, Vorden immediately moved towards the amputated area and started to place his hands just above it. As he did, it began to heal far quicker than it normally would. "What's that?" Peter asked. "I decided to head to the nurse's office, faking that I had a temperature. The two of us touched, so I was able to copy her ability," Vorden explained. "I didn't want these guys to go through the same pain as the others." They then repeated the process 2 more times with the other students, and finally, they were done with everything. 6 of 7 pieces of human flesh consumed by your ghoul. The message had appeared, and now there was only one person they had to find before Peter's evolved. "So, did you come up with any ideas for this last person?" Vex said as he sat down on his chair with his legs up on his desk. "I was thinking about this. What about Bones?" Peter suggested. "The person you met today? That's a bad idea," Vorden replied. "He happens to work for Duke. You're already on his radar. But I think you're along the right line. We should pick someone who deserves it." Suddenly, while in the middle of their conversation, a beep sound was heard. 3 students tied up on the floor, blood parts in certain areas, and the rest casually standing around. Logan mumbled to himself. Logan had arrived in front of the door earlier, but he had decided to continue to listen in on their conversation. Perhaps he had misheard something, or the words they were saying meant something else. But after listening and deluding himself to the truth, he could no longer take it. Logan immediately brought out the black sphere-shaped ball and pressed it against his chest. The small little spider-like robots started to spread and appear around his body at a lightning speed until they formed a mechanical suit. "Don't you guys move, or I swear I will blast you all," Logan said. "Quinn, did they put you up to this? If they're blackmailing you, I can help you out. I have connections, you know." "Logan, please," Quinn pleaded. "Put the weapons down. It's not what you think." "I can't, Quinn. If I lower these weapons and I don't know the truth, there's a higher chance for you all attacking me. You were involved in this case as well, and 2 previous cases before." When did he do so much research? Quinn thought. "What the hell are you guys waiting for? Looks like we found your next meal ticket," Vex said as he took a step forward. A few seconds later, though, a beam of blue light had hit Vex and sent him flying up against the room wall. "I did say that nobody should move," Logan said. "Logan, please just give us a chance to explain." At that moment, Quinn had taken a step forward. Logan automatically reacted to this and fired once again. Quinn felt something like this might have happened, so he was prepared. Suing the shadow, he lifted it to block the energy shot, stopping it midair in the shadow. Then, moving out of the way, he moved his shadow with it, causing the shot to smash and go straight out the window. "We seriously need to stop wrecking these rooms," Vorden said. "Quinn, I need an answer for all this, and one that makes sense. You'll understand when I explain everything. I wanted to tell you, Logan. Do you mind if just me and you speak alone?" Quinn asked. As Logan looked around the room, he realized that it would be the better option to just talk to Quinn. "Give me your neck," Logan demanded. "What? Why?" Quinn asked. "If you want me to trust you, then give me your neck," Logan said once again. Quinn did as asked and walked over while bending down slightly. Then, when Logan touched Quinn's neck, a part of his suit started to move and form a type of collar around Quinn's neck. "If you try anything funny, that collar will explode," Logan said. The two of them left the room and headed upstairs to where Logan's room was located. After they left, Vex started to get up from the floor, and around his chest area, a burn mark could be seen. "Who would have thought that little twip would have been so strong?" Vex said as he touched his chest area. "Do you think Quinn is going to be okay?" Peter asked. "We have to deal with this problem first," Vorden said, pointing at the students on the floor. "Maybe Quinn can buy us some time, but if Logan reports us, they still can't do anything without any proof, so we need to get rid of the evidence as quickly as possible." The 3 of them nodded and got to work. Quinn and Logan were inside their room. Quinn was struggling to think about how to explain this to Logan. Not only that, but if he would believe him, and how would he react to the truth? While deep in his thoughts, an unexpected voice in his head was heard. "Let him touch you again," the system said. "His ability, I think I've figured out what it is. If you touch me, then it will allow me to speak to him. Logan, if you touch me, then the system will be able to explain everything. It will all make sense." "I'm putting my trust in you one more time," he said, as Quinn went over with his hand held out. When the 2 of their hands connected, instead of normal system message, Logan was able to speak clearly to the system. The system was then also able to show images of everything that had happened to Quinn so far, including all of the conversations they had. Then, after a few minutes, Logan let go of Quinn's hand. He then raised it and touched the collar around his neck, removing it, before sitting back down in his chair. "What happened?" Quinn asked. "I understand why you did what you did, Quinn. I can't blame you, because in a way it was the only thing you could do." The two of them sat there for a while. "You know," Logan said, "I can help you with your problem." "Problem?" "Getting the human flesh. There is a way," Logan replied. "I propose we all head upstairs to my room, because I have a solution to your little eater problem. Follow me." Logan left the room and Quinn followed behind while signaling to the others that it was all right to do so. "You guys can go ahead without me," Feck said. "I've done my part, so there are no more favors in between us." The boys, except for Fex, had finally made it into Logan's room and made sure that the door was firmly shut behind them. "Are you sure this isn't all a trap, Quinn?" Logan whispered. "I don't know," Quinn replied. "He hasn't told me anything yet, but I trust him. He helped me out with the watch and knew about my shadow abilities, yet still didn't tell anyone." Logan then logged into his computer as usual. "The problem is that you need a fresh piece of human meat, correct? So going to the cemetery is not an option," Logan explained. He then went on to a certain site. It looked exactly like the marketplace where Quinn had gone on to buy his equipment. "I will introduce you to a whole new world you probably didn't even know existed," said Logan. "We call this the Dark Marketplace. It contains items that aren't allowed to be sold in the regular marketplace. It even has a request board, one that can evade the eyes of the government." "I've heard of this before," Borden said, "but I had no clue how to access it." Logan then typed into the search bar and straight away what they were looking for appeared. The words could be seen: "Fresh human flesh available now, cut less than 24 hours ago." Quinn started to read the description and found something strange. The item had been shrunk, wrapped, and filled with nitrogen to keep it as fresh as possible. It had also been dried of all blood, so the customer could only get the flesh itself. "Logan, could you check for me? Is there any way to get blood?" Quinn asked. Logan did a quick type, and to his surprise, the screen said, "No results found." "I find it odd that there isn't blood on this. Regardless, even before vampires began to exist, some underground hospitals and groups would need them for emergencies. Perhaps I should look into this more." Logan continued to ponder on the subject. "So, are we able to order the flesh then?" Peter asked. Yes, I'll do that for you now," Logan replied. In his room, Logan had a teleporter receiver for packages. After typing the code in, the item suddenly appeared in a box. They opened it up, and it was shrunk, wrapped, and covered with ice, just like the order had said. After taking it out, they placed the meat in Peter's hands, and Logan couldn't stop staring at him. He was interested in seeing how Peter was able to eat the meat. Although Peter was a little shy, he quickly gobbled up the food. When he saw that it was similar to an animal eating meat, Logan lost his interest once again. 7 of 7 different pieces of human flesh have been consumed by your ghoul. Quest complete. Evolution process will begin. A loud groan could be heard from behind him. "Peter, what's wrong? Are you okay?" Borden said, with a worried expression. Peter was clutching his tummy with both hands. He felt like a fire was spreading out from that point all over his body. "Guys, give him some space," Quinn said. "He's evolving. I don't know what he'll turn into or what's going to happen to him next." All of them stepped back to give Peter some space. The groans coming from Peter were getting louder, and he started to shake all over. As they nervously watched Peter, they started to see visible changes in his body. His skin began to shrink and tighten and turn white all over. He didn't look sick or weak. The scene reminded Borden of what Quinn had looked like before his evolution into a full vampire. At the same time, there was something that was worrying Peter a lot more right now. His heartbeat was starting to slow down. With the pain on top of this, he thought perhaps he was dying. However, even though his heart wasn't beating anymore, he could still feel everything, and it didn't feel like he was dead at all. Then finally, his heartbeat had stopped entirely, and at the same time, so did the pain. "Congratulations! Your ghoul has successfully evolved into a white. Blood ritual skill has evolved. 1 of 3 slots remaining for the cursed family." As Peter stood up from the floor, his face looked more sunken in than before, and his skin was slightly paler. "Tell us your age, name, and where you are," Logan shouted. "I don't answer to you," Peter snapped. "I will only answer to one," he said, pointing at Quinn. Quinn then repeated the question. Peter Chuck, 16, and we are inside Logan's room, sir. Satisfied with the answers, Logan put his hand down, but also made sure not to take the mechanical weapon. Inspect. Name, Peter Chuck. Race, white. Stats will correspond with creator until it reaches its limit. Seeing the last bit of information had given Quinn a surprise. This meant right now that Peter had the same stat points as Quinn. He was just as strong and just as fast. What is a white, though? Quinn asked. An undead creature which is fast and sneaky in the night. They are best used as a form of an assassin. Whites have a high level of intelligence, similar to humans, although their personalities could not be said to be the same. They are lawful to their creator, but once they see someone as their enemy, they will do everything in their power to get rid of them. Whites are immune to poison, sleep, paralysis, mind control, and diseases. They also contain a skill that will allow them to turn a killed victim into another lesser white. 0 of 2. Is everything okay? Do we still need to feed him human flesh? Vorden asked. It's all right. Peter, you are no longer a ghoul. You're now something known as a white, Quinn replied. After explaining everything to Peter, he finally understood why his heart had stopped beating. He was an undead creature, no longer alive. Everyone in the room could finally relax and sit down. It was finally all over. But there was one upcoming situation left that they had to deal with. That was worrying him about this. His next meeting with Duke is in a few days.
Hi, Quinn here. Wondering what happens next? If you want to jump the queue and unleash all episodes, click on the link here and install the Pocket FM app.